Jai Mahamaya Ki Jai, Vishveshvari Mata Ki Jai. We'll go on with chapter 2 from book 11 of the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. Narayan has said, even if a man studies the Vedas and the 6 limbs of the Vedas, he cannot be pure if he is devoid of the principle of right living, and if he does not practice it. All that is in vain. As soon as the 2 wings of the young ones of birds appear, they leave their nest. So the Chandas, the Vedas, leave such a man devoid of right living at the time of his death. The intelligent man should get up from his bed at the Brahma Muhurta and should observe all the principles of sadhakara. In the last quarter of the night, he should practice in reciting and studying the Vedas. Then for some time, he should meditate on his Ishtadeva, his presiding deity. The yogi should meditate on Brahma according to the methods stated before. Or Narada, if meditation be done as above, the identity of the Jiva and the Brahma is at once realized, and the man becomes liberated while living. Next, and then he should go and take care of, remove, and evacuate his bowels in the proper way. And then next, performing achaman, one is to wash one's teeth. He is to take a tiny piece, 12 fingers long, from a tree, which is gummy. The clean twig, which is used for the teeth, is thick like one's little finger. It is to chew the one end of it to form a toothbrush. Fig trees, mangoes, kampaka, badari, and other trees are used for this cleaning of teeth. While cleansing teeth, one is to recite the following mantra. O tree, wherein resides the deity moon for giving food to the beings and for killing the enemies, let him wash my mouth to increase my fame and honor. O thee, dost thou please give me long life, power, fame, energy, beauty, sons, cattle, wealth, intellect, and the knowledge of Brahma. If the cleansing twig be not available, and if there is any prohibition to brush one's teeth on that particular day, take mouthfuls of water, gargle 12 times, and thus cleanse the teeth. If one brushes teeth with a twig on certain days, this is not a good thing, and it makes his family line extinct and brings 7 generations down to the house. Next, he should wash his feet and sip pure, clean water 3 times, touch his lips twice with his thumb, and then clear the nostrils by his thumb and forefinger. Then he is to touch his eyes and ears with his thumb and ring finger, touch his navel with his thumb and little finger, touch his breast with his palm, and touch his head with all fingers. Here ends the 2nd chapter of the 8th book on cleansing the several parts of the body in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. Going on for chapter 3, Sri Narayana said, there are 6 kinds of achmana: Sudha, Smarta, Prajnik, Vaidik, Tantric, and Srata. The act of cleansing after evacuating oneself is known as Sudasaka. After cleaning, the achmanam that is performed according to rules is named as Smarta and Prajnik. In places where the Brahma Yagya is performed, the Vaidik and the Srata Achmaniam are done, and where acts like the knowledge of warfare are being executed, the Tantric Achman is done. Then he is to remember the Gayatri mantra with Om and fasten the lock of his hair to the crown of his head, thus controlling all of the hindrances. Sipping again, he is to touch his heart, 2 arms, and his 2 shoulders. After sneezing, spitting, touching the lower lip with his teeth, accidentally telling a lie, and talking with a very sinful person, he is to touch his right ear, where the several devas reside. On the right ear of the Brahmanas reside fire, water, the Vedas, the moon, the sun, Vayu. Then one is to go to a river or any other reservoir of water, and there to perform one's morning ablutions and to cleanse his body thoroughly. For the body is always unclean and dirty, and various dirts are being excreted out of the 9 holes, the 9 doors in the body. The morning bath removes all these impurities. Therefore, the morning bath is essentially necessary. The sins that arise from going to those who are not fit for such purposes, from accepting gifts from impure persons, or from the practice of any other secret vices, all are removed by this morning bath. Without this bath, no acts bear any fruit. Therefore, every day, this morning bath is very necessary. Taking the kusa grass in the hand, one is to perform one's bath in sadhya. If for 7 days the morning ablutions are not taken, and if for 3 days the sandhyas are not performed, if for 12 days the daily homas be not performed, the brahmana becomes very dirty. The name for making the homa in the morning, the time for making the homa in the morning is very little. Therefore, lest ablutions be done fully, which would take a long time, and hence the time for the homa might elapse, the morning bath should be performed quickly. After the bath, the pranayama is to be done, then the full effects of baths are attained. There is nothing holier in this world or in the next than reciting the Gayatri mantra. It saves the singer who sings the Gayatri, hence it is called Gayatri. During the time of pranayama, one must control one's prana and apanas, vayus, making them equal. The Brahmin, knowing the Vedas and devoted to his dharma, must practice pranayama 3 times with a repetition of Gayatri and pranava and the 3 vairitas. Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swa. On practicing the mantra of Gayatri is to be done 3 times. In pranayama, the Vedic mantra is to be repeated. At the time of pranayama, if anybody's mind be not fixed even for a short while, he cannot save even 101 persons in his father's or in his mother's line. Pranayama is called sagarbha when performed with the repetition of some mantra. It is called agarbha when it is done simply with mere meditation without repeating any mantra. After the bathing, the tarpanam with its accompaniments is to be done. The peace offerings, which are made with reference to the devas, the rishis, and our pitras, whereby we invoke the blessings from the subtle plane where the high-souled persons and our ancestors dwell. After this, a clean pair of clothes is to be worn, and then he should get up and come out of the water. The next things preparatory to practice japan are to wear the tilak marks of the ashes and to put on the Rudraksha bead. By holding or putting on the Rudraksha beads, persons become the Rudras, incarnate in flesh and body. There is no doubt in this. By this, all the sins arising from seeing, hearing, remembering, smelling, eating prohibited things, talking incoherently, doing prohibited things, are entirely removed with the Rudraksha bead on the body. Whatever acts, eating, drinking, are done are as if it were done by Rudra Devi himself. It is by holding on the Rudraksha that Brahma has remained steady in his Brahma untainted, and the Munis have been true to their resolves. So there is no act better and higher than holding the Rudraksha bead. He who gives clothing and food to a person holding a Rudraksha bead with devotion is freed from all sins and goes to the Shiva Loka. He who feasts gladly any holder of such beads at the time of Shraddha goes undoubtedly to the Pitra Loka. He who washes the feet of a holder of the Rudraksha and drinks that water is freed of all sins and resides with honor in the Shiva Loka. If a Brahmana holds with devotion the Rudraksha beads with a necklace and gold, he attains Rudrahood. O intelligent one, whoever holds with or without faith and devotion the Rudraksha beads with or without any mantra is freed of all sins and is entitled to Tattva Jnana. I am unable to describe fully the greatness of the Rudraksha bead. In fact, all should by all means hold the Rudraksha bead on their bodies. Here ends the 3rd chapter of the 11th book on the glories of the Rudraksha bead in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Veda Vyasa. Jai Mahamaya ki jai, Vishveshwari Mata ki jai, Bole Baba ki jai.